Hi everybody in IT, this is Alex Kenny. Welcome to my house. I'm going to read to you a little bit from my paper about Speedy DNA Sequencers. I started the paper with a quote from Kary Mullis, a Nobel Prize winning biochemist, who said in 2016, "Sequencing DNA now is one of the easiest jobs you could have besides slopping burgers." I'm going to give you a little background about DNA. Then I'm going to talk to you about some of the social implications and some of the security aspects. Then I'm going to upload it and get my 10 points. DNA is the organic molecule that stores instructions for the replication and growth of all life. The surprisingly simple and elegant molecule is in every cell. Two sugar phosphate backbones frame a string of nucleotides, which are easily broken and reformed by a simple hydrogen bond. To create pieces of U, an enzyme unzips the hydrogen bond of a DNA double helix. The relevant section of your corresponding DNA is transcribed into RNA, and proteins are translated and built. Every grand detail, such as whether you are a bug, a virus, a stalk of corn, down to the slope of your nose, the color of your hair, and your predisposition to breast cancer or Crohn's disease, it's all encoded in your DNA. The code itself is 3 billion letters long in a human being. Even before the human genome, the implications of the knowledge of DNA structure are staggering. With enough time and money, agricultural scientists can isolate the genetic difference between weak crops and robust crops, and feed more people while expending fewer resources. With enough time and money, scientists can examine the structure of unwelcome forms of life such as viruses and malicious bacteria. With enough time and money, scientists can discover genes responsible for human predisposition to disease, the genes responsible for long life, and even the genes responsible for beauty, creativity, and intelligence. But that could take a lot of time and a lot of money. Until now, super-fast DNA sequencers will have radical effects on society. There are medical, legal, and civil rights implications which may all be swept aside for the sake of the magic and the potential of the untapped DNA code. I don't know if you remember the Human Genome Project in the 90s. It cost about $3 billion and took almost 10 years for us to sequence one single human genome. Now it can be done in 20 minutes for $20, and the price is still dropping, and the time it takes is still dropping. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the security aspects. One that interested me was the concept of man-made malicious DNA, which is older than the discovery of DNA itself. Since you can download a code of DNA easily and cheaply, what's to keep amateurs from toying with DNA codes? Will the process be as accessible as Google? I predict basic DNA recombination instructions will join online instructions for methamphetamine manufacture and online 3D gun creation. Even in the hands of the professionals, the dangers of DNA manipulation dwarf the dangers of professional chemical manufacture. Pathogens may be directed to target specific sites in DNA, and could lead to mechanisms of transporting harmful DNA segments into a specific environment. There's plenty of movies, plenty of Hollywood movies that have covered this horrifying possibility. One interesting ethical implication is in 2008, Congress passed the Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act, which is wildly forward-looking, and it prohibited the use of genetic information by healthcare companies and employers for the purposes of price setting, or hiring, or firing. But some argue that the act will force healthcare companies to ensure conditions based solely on genetic dispositions. One of the hurdles that must be overcome, the next objective, now that sequencing is quickly, we have to complete the analysis of each of the genes, but one of the hurdles that must overcome to bring projects to completion include government interference. For better or worse, government agencies such as the FDA and Congress impede research. Agencies have our safety in mind, but government regulations are suffocating applications that promise much public benefit. Fixes are available if society and policymakers would only pay heed to science. Thank you for listening. I'm Alex Kenny, and I will see you in class.